Right. I think everything should be up and running. I think. Yes, I am streaming. Gotta refresh this just to make sure it's working. Okay, good. And I'm gonna kind of sit here for a minute. I know the ads are going to reset because I started the stream again, as annoying as that is. So I'm gonna wait for 3, 2, 1. Okay. Starting the ads. And there we go. So welcome back to the case of the Golden Idol. If this is your first time watching my video, you can go ahead and skip to about 2 minutes and 45 seconds from now if you don't want to hear this. It's a bit of a preamble that I run at the start of every one just in case I forget to delete it. And also so that people don't have to watch the pre-roll ads for the next hour. I do this for fun, so people seeing ads is not my priority. That being said, if you're watching this as a VOD, either on YouTube or on Twitch, I would very much appreciate a follow and a subscribe on either channel, since I would very much like the company while I'm gaming. And especially the subscription on YouTube would be big. I have a lot yet to go. I'm at 12 and I think I need like 500 before I can stop asking people to subscribe. So, gonna be doing that for a while, and I apologize for that. Let's see what else we got here. If you're interested in seeing me live, you can absolutely join me on my Discord. We've got a good little community going there. There's memes, there's chatting, there's suggestions for if there's things you want to see added to the stream or that you think I need to be changing or doing better, including suggestions for games you want to see, either as something that I get for sub and bit goals or as just things you want me to see me play from my Steam list, which I've already posted there as well. I do have a couple of games already lined up. It looks like, so far, it looks like our next game is going to be Blueprints when we reach that goal. That's leading right now with 4 votes. The others have 2 to 3 each. But there are a good couple options, and every vote counts if you want to alter what I see or you have something in particular. Anything else? Oh yeah, also, if you do join the Discord, there is notifications for every time I go live, as well as for when I upload a new YouTube video. That way, in case you've had to miss a session for whatever reason, you can always go back and find it pretty easy. As a bit of news, I will probably be starting to stream Final Fantasy XIV just as a long haul game because I haven't played it in a while and I would like to again. So if that's the sort of thing that interests you, I'd love to have you. I'll be streaming for many hours every day if the past is any indication. No pressure on that. Having said that, hopefully the ad break is actually ended and I won't start up another one here. Hooray! So welcome back to the stream proper, everyone that's here. We'll get back into the case of the Golden Idol today. Where did we leave off? So last time, there was a murder in the inn, and then a murder in the fancy house, which took a while, and then this was Cloudsbert defending himself as people tried to steal the idol. So we're going to jump into the new chapter here, or I guess the new section of chapter 3, and let's see what's going on. I hope you enjoy. The strange practices of a secretive society. Okay. So there's 4 sections to fill out. Let's just kind of go in first. Okay. Oh, that explains finally what the weird face on the title screen is. Hi, Waylord. Welcome back. And another weird little pudgy idol. Okay. I'm denser than lead. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 screens total. Okay. And then there's empty slots. Name the ritual, probably the people that are there. Another ritual, and the people that are here. And then 2 more that I haven't figured out yet. Probably to do with cups? I'm not sure. Let's start looking for clues. Oh! Dude's all bound up here. If I remember correctly from the last one... Hi, Econop. Welcome back. This is the, like, Brotherhood of the Dark Hand or something. That's the symbol that's on there. Mm-hmm. Hand and an eye. Okay, yeah. A hat. Thank you very much. That's helpful. Loaded pistol. David Garan for reliable service. But that is not David Garan. Which means David is inside the ritual. Or inside the area anyway. The gathering will be on March 14th. To follow our plan, we should be there at least 2 hours before midnight. The target will arrive in full costume. Grab rope and weapons. WK, wasn't that the name of the bandit from the last one? The well-dressed bandit? I think so. Ash Blair, that's his pouch. Obviously that's the watch. Rope. This is his coat. So he's definitely in there in disguise. He left all his stuff in the bag. What's this one? Actually, hold on. What's this? Oh, David Garan. Okay. Yeah, okay. So this is the hat dude from the last one. The masked bandit. What was his name? Something Keen? I'll have to check. Hold on. Loaded pistol, sword, clean new coat. Return to scenario selection. It was this guy, the one getting blown away. What was his name? Walter Keane. Okay. Let me see if I can identify them here. Man in the mask is not breathing. A ruby ring. Almost empty. Okay. Another ruby ring. I think there's going to be a lot of ruby rings in here. Ruby ring, ceremonial sword. Ceremonial scepter, ruby ring. Ruby ring. Some red wine, okay. Small vial of an unknown substance. Okay. A member of our order has proposed a new candidate to join our brotherhood. Therefore, we've decided to take measures to resolve the fate of the individuals. If the brother proves himself, he can vouch for the newcomer. If the newcomer survives the trial, he will join our ranks. Okay. You are summoned to join our gathering on March 14th. let's go back to the scenario selection for a second, because there's one thing I want to check. Did he have a ruby ring on him? He did. Okay. Which means since they were meeting up, he's probably the one down in the bottom section. The one by the statue. And the new recruit, therefore, would be David Garan. Because he doesn't have a ring. He stole a disguise. Although, they did beat someone up. So this is the guy that was originally supposed to be there. Walter Keane is somewhere inside, probably undergoing the trial. Him. Which means this guy is probably David Garan. I would buy that. David Garan. I still need to find other names and things, though, so I can identify these people properly. There's drag marks, footprints, more footprints leading out, more footprints. Hiya, Clarissa. Welcome back. Thank you for joining. So we've just started a brand new mission, a brand new part of the chapter here. So far, there are 4 screens. This one outside, an entryway, a weird little idol section, and this ritual scene. And what we've discovered so far is that David Garan and Walter Keane are working together. Walter is the one who planned it. And they've knocked out this guy who was supposed to be inside and disguised themselves to get in. And that's all we have so far. Now I'm looking around out here and it looks like there's 2 sets of footprints with drag marks on the ground leading toward this bush. I'm assuming that one of them belongs to Walter and one to David, and these are the drag marks of the guy that they're pulling with them. Now David is the well-dressed bandit, so he's probably this set of footprints, and this one is David. And they split up around this bush. So the only thing that's throwing me off right now is that these footprints look like maybe they came first. So David Garan might be taking the place of the person who was supposed to be there. I'm not really sure quite yet. We're going to have to look at these 2. So brothers wear masks appropriate to their house. Dark hands, proud beasts, and water snakes. And I'm not sure which are which. Because there's 3 types of masks here. This guy was the Griffin, maybe? I'm not sure. We got to keep investigating, but I'm just trying to think out loud as I go. Inception, evaluation, transition, and admission. Oh, okay. So, evaluation, administered by Dark Hand Steward or Master. Admission, you must endure the tests, administered by a Master. I'm not sure why these symbols are like this. I'll have to figure it out. A fish in a house. Oh, these are all words I can get. Okay, that explains it. What do you have on you? Already read that. That's a proud bee symbol. That's the eye symbol. I don't remember what the eyes are. I didn't look at that. Two rings. And what's back here? Brothers wear robes appropriate to their rank. So initiate, steward, master. I can't see any eyes on him at all. But the colors match up. So there's whites. Oh, what are these? Squabble. Oh, deadly poison. I can label that. Ritual of Squabble. The sword must be borne by any dark hand. Required decorations of the hall, the Grim Reaper, the never-tiring teacher, the feeder of mouths. Ritual of Conflict. By any initiate. Okay. And what's this? Ritual of Dispute. The scepter must be borne by the Water Snake Master. Keeper of Treasures, never-tiring teacher, the Grim Reaper. Ritual of Discord. Speaker to the blind, Grim Reaper, Keeper of Treasures. And what are these? So these are letters. I have ventured on the Order's mission to reclaim our fire-breathing relic and, with great resolve, punish the despicable enemy. I, with a few brave companions, fearlessly entered his hideout in a remote hunting cabin, but the devil had prepared a treacherous trap and an explosion slaughtered my dearest friends as we entered his study. Thanks to my sturdy physique, I survived the blast, only to be assaulted by the enemy's lackey, assassin warrior David Guerin, and a pack of bloodthirsty hounds. After an hour of fight, I received numerous deadly wounds, in spite of which I prevailed and defeated my assailants with my martial training. I discovered the enemy's dead body, slain by the trap of his own making, but no trace of the relic. I am forced to go into hiding because the government's watchmen are tracking me. Once I have recovered from my deadly wounds and shaken off the henchmen, I will send you the next report. May the Griffin awaken, Walter Keene. Okay, so Walter is obviously the one that needs to be challenged. Because this is all bullcrap. We saw that in the last scene. David Guerin was knocked out. They did discover the relic. This is baloney. I must apologize 1,000 times for my absence, but my road to recovery was full of peril and valor that cannot be sufficiently conveyed in writing. The government dogs and spies chased me tirelessly, and I was forced to seek refuge in Aquitania to recover from my still dire wounds. There I finally bested my pursuers with the help of Lazarus Hurst. Okay, that's a new name. We haven't seen Lazarus Hurst before. Not only did he earn my trust by stepping into the fray, he turned out to be well versed in the arcane arts. course not yet close to your skills, I have finally recovered and plan to return to Albion. I suggest that Lazarus would be a fine addition to the Order. I vouch for him and invite him to undergo the appropriate trial. So Lazarus Hurst is probably the disguise name that that David Goran is using right now. I would buy that. Illuminated Masters, I object to the admittance of the individual Lazarus Hurst to our brethren. I submit that our Dark-Hand brother Walter Keene, who vouches for him, cannot be trusted, because he is a liar and a thief. I am certain that, on dispatching our enemy, he kept the golden fire-breathing relic for himself. Nothing will move me on this. He must produce the relic, apologize personally, and be expelled from our brotherhood. Jeffrey Sinclair. Okay. So we know that Jeffrey Sinclair and Walter Keene have to be involved in the ritual. They both have to be barefoot, so we can't identify the shoes that he's wearing. That means we're not really sure who's who. He's got a ring. He's got a ring. They left everything else outside. But we're going to have to identify what ritual this is to know for sure. So there's a scepter. What's this? A ceremonial scepter. A ceremonial sword. And poison. This is just how the challenge works. These are the severities of the challenges. So did it tell us which one? What one of them has to be a sword. And there needs to be decorations of the hall. Is this the hall that it's talking about? Or is this the hall that it's talking about? This must be the hall that it's talking about. Not this one. So we know that this is the dude with the house on the back, the snail. I'm not sure why the one without eating is there. But it can probably only be this. One of these two, either Inception or Admission. Is there a number up top? 4, 3, 2. But those are just the pillars themselves. And they must be marked with the eye as a tattoo rather than on their robes. So this guy out here is the one that they stripped of his clothes. He's from the Dark Hand, and he's a 1-star. He's the one that challenged, I think. Jeffrey Sinclair, that would make sense. So I'm going to call this guy Jeffrey Sinclair. Ugh. Okay, so that's not Jeffrey Sinclair. Oh, okay, never mind. Jeffrey Sinclair is probably this guy then, the one that's dead. We're going to have to identify these masks too. Because that'll help identify who's in control of what here. And I guess there are these 3 types of robes. Now, if this is a stolen outfit from the guy outside, then we can interpret that it's probably an initiate. So we're going to do that. This will be the initiate robe. And but any dark hand can bear the sword. Any initiate can bear the sword. The scepter must be borne by a master. Okay, so this is where we're going to run into an issue. Either the water snake master or the dark hand master is holding this scepter. But we can infer that these white robes are probably master robes, which makes this the steward. Now we're going to have to figure out what else we can infer about these masks too. So I don't think this would be the ritual of discord, because the accuser and defender houses aren't standing beside each other, which means it must be the ritual of dispute. Since this didn't apply, and this didn't seem to apply either. It might. Grim Reaper, never tiring teacher, the feeder of mouths. Because down here, that's what these are, if these are the decorations in the hall it's referring to. And this is a never tiring mouth, I'm assuming, because it just doesn't exist. Keeper of treasures, never tiring teacher, the Grim Reaper. But see, this is the other one. Is this the hall they're talking about with the Grim Reaper? Because that is definitely there. And there's no real indication as to what the names of each of these are. But if we're to assume that these are maybe just not real masks, no, they would be. There's 3 of them. The red sign here, this indicates the different houses. So it's telling us what these symbols mean. So we know that out here, this guy, because he has the tattoo on him, is an initiate of the Dark Hands. Which means we can probably assume this is a Dark Hand mask, come to think of it. And then, if we're going to assume that this is the Water Snake Master, then this would have to be the Proud Beast, I think. Water Snake and Proud Beast. Damn. So maybe I just got these 2 mixed up. No, okay. That's wrong too. Damn. Okay, well, I don't want to just keep guessing at it, so I'm going to keep looking and keep thinking. Let's look at these rules again. So, the sword must be borne by any dark hand, but it's not the squabble. I'm pretty sure it's not the squabble, Because this one is... It's not just a small thing that he's after. It could be conflict. It could be dispute. It could be discord. I'm not sure why these are blue, though. That might not mean anything. Houses of the accuser and defender stand behind their brother in the ritual of discord. Which is not happening here, like at all. So I'm gonna rule out discord. The scepter is the only one that's really... Oh, hold on. It can't be dispute, because only stewards and higher can be the defender and accuser. Which means either both of these are stewards and these are initiates. Let's try that. That might be a thing. If these are steward and initiate robes. There we go. Okay. Which is interesting because down here this guy is only an initiate. Which means that one of these is probably David or Walter Keane. See, they're throwing me off because they're not wearing boots, and that's one of the things that's kind of a requirement. This one's a steward. It does, yeah. Because I had labeled one of these guys already. But I think I labeled him wrong now. Okay, see you later, Clarissa. Thank you for joining. Hope your meeting goes well. What's down here? So I think I can label this one as the Ritual of Dispute. I'm pretty sure I can do that. This one here. Ritual of Dispute. Because that seems right. Dispute. Everything else fit in that situation. And in the Ritual of Dispute, the scepter must be borne by the Water Snake Master. So that's that guy. Which means I should be able to put it like this. Water Snake Master. You're also a master. These two are initiates. He's a Water Snake Initiate, not you. You must be the Proud Beast Master. And then these ones are the Dark Hands. So we're going to say Dark Hand Initiate. And these two are both stewards. And it's kind of hard to tell who they are. But, I mean, for now we'll just go with Dark Hand and Water Snake. No, okay. So it's definitely not this one. And it's definitely not that one. It can only be the Ritual of Dispute. That's just it. That's all. Keeper of Treasures. Never tiring teacher, the Grim Reaper. So if we're to assume this key is the Keeper of Treasures, and that's the Grim Reaper, there might be something else in here that's the never tiring teacher. I don't know what that could be though. Unless it's the table that is the book. I suppose that's possible. It's possible that it wants me to label these two with actual names. And also there is this guy whose face we can see, but he is not Jeffrey, whatever his name is. Jeffrey Sinclair. Let's maybe see if we can deduce this one first, because this might tell me what the result of one of them is. It's entirely possible this is just a different ritual, like in its entirety. I'm not really sure yet. So we've got a house, which is the snail. That one's easy. A mouth, which isn't eating. A fish in a house. And a trial of temperatures for seasons. Which I guess would be time? Maybe? A tree could also be time. And this is a Proud Beast Steward. So this is the only one that it could be, is Inception. House, fire, water, plant. I'm not sure why this one would be fire, though. I still think this is Inception. But then again, he says, I have signaled to Griffin who I am. I accept my fate, whatever it might be. So this might be Walter Keane. Walter Keane. And this would be the Proud Beast Steward. And it should be a Ritual of Inception, I think. No. Damn. I'm not using hints. My finger went up here, but I'm not using hints. Maybe I really did mess up the trial type then. Because we already nailed that this is Proud Beast and Steward based on the robes he's wearing. And he has 2 ruby rings. One on his finger, so he's a member of the society, and one in his pocket. I don't think he has one on him. Did this guy have one on him? No. There aren't any rings out here. But I know that in the last scene, Walter Keane did have a ruby ring on him. So this must be Walter Keane. I'm right about that. This is a Proud Beast Steward. Because I got that right as well. Which means it's just the ritual. Ah, crap. No, I didn't want that. Press the wrong button again. Maybe it's evaluation then? But that's the wrong pictures. What if I'm looking at this wrong again? So these are not fire and water, but like temperature and deprivation? It can't be admission because it's not a master doing it. Can't be transition, not a master doing it. Can't be evaluation, it's not a master doing it, or a steward, or a dark-hand steward. Administered by a proud beast steward. So it must be inception. Proud beast and an eye. Because he does have both of those, right? Which those are the tattoos for a proud beast initiate. Or at least for the House of Proud Beast and however many eyes he's going to get. I don't see any on him. But it could be that he is transitioning to a different level, like he's upgrading. Evaluation. Maybe it's evaluation, but that would make the person who's doing it wrong. Dark Hand Steward, and that's not right. You know what? Let's see what happens if I put evaluation in there. I don't think it is, but it's possible. Yeah, okay. Inception was right. Which means it's probably just this person that I'm getting wrong. Maybe this person too? But that doesn't look like David Garan. And they would know what David looks like. Done when an accuser has challenged a defender. Both drinkers must be barefoot. The substance is added depending on the severity of the accusation, including deadly poison. So the substance is added to one of the cups. The defender chooses first. Accuser chooses the remaining. Both partake in wine cups. So the other thing I could possibly infer is that this would be David Garan, who somehow collaborated with Walter in this test. Because their shoes are all the same. I'm kind of thinking that might be it here, as this is David Garan. Because I haven't seen his face anywhere. Like he's not out here in the bush. This isn't David Garan. David left his stuff here. And I know that he looks very unique, shall we say. We haven't seen him since way back here, but this is David Garan. So he's very, very distinct. Which means if we can't see him, he's in a disguise. And this guy is Walter Keane, who, although his face is being blown away, does have dark skin and brown hair, which I think would, in fact, make this one in the inside here. I don't know. Is that Walter Keane? Because he was supposed to be judged, right? Hold on. So just Lazarus. Maybe that's Lazarus Hearst. No. Because Walter is suggesting him. Well, Jeffrey Sinclair is the one that challenged. If the brother proves himself, he can vouch for the newcomer. If the newcomer survives the appropriate trial, he will join our ranks. So maybe this person is actually Lazarus Hearst. Like they brought a real person here. And he's a dark-hand brother. Which is this mask. And I figure they're working in cahoots. Because the initiate is the robe that was stolen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that this person here is probably Lazarus Hearst. Yeah. And then over here, I think this will be Walter Keane, who's undergoing the trial. No. I didn't want to press that button. Actually, I didn't use any. I want to read this. Okay, we're good. I didn't actually figure anything out from that. Hi, Congo. Welcome back. Thank you for joining. How you doing today? So, they both had to drink at the same time, right? Well, good morning then. I hope you slept well. Hopefully this day is treating you well as you're getting up. Both partake in the cups. You've joined... I don't know if you were here before for this game. This is the Case of the Golden Idol. It is a detective mystery game where you're using clues to make deductions about what happened. So I am trying to figure everything out using minimal information. It's like Sudoku without a grid. Maybe I don't need to pay attention to the boots themselves, like to the shoes. So I know David is inside, and so is Walter Keane. They left their stuff out here. This is probably a dark-hand initiate then. Dark-hand initiate. So I was right about that. He's just someone who is inside of here. Which means I just have to identify these people. But if they didn't collaborate here with the unknown substance, which is the poison. I thought for sure this would be Walter Keane. Because he's got a ring, member of the Dark Hand Brotherhood. He was challenged. Oh, this is Jeffrey Sinclair, though. That's right. He's the one that did the challenging. So I can get rid of this. Jeffrey Sinclair. And then you would be, I guess, a water snake initiate, I believe. Yeah. Two cups on a stone altar. They already contain some, or they contain some wine, but are almost empty. So I guess the other option would be if... Oh, hold on. Add substance to one of the cups. Defender chooses first, accuser chooses remaining. So if we're talking about Sicilian-style Princess Bride type case, then they could have altered the cups in some way. Alternatively, they both could have been... Hold on. Hold on, hold on. Maybe the boots do have meaning. Because Walter is wearing these same type of boots in this picture. So maybe this is David and this is Walter. Or one of them is Walter. That would make sense, I guess. I know they have to be working in cahoots. Like they somehow rigged this. And the only way they could rig it is not with the wine itself, but with the poison. So what happens if I do this? No. Okay. So I was right that this is Walter Keane. And that's Jeffrey Sinclair. But this one was not David Guerin. That's just the Proud Beast. Oh no, the Water Snake Initiate. Which really leaves only this one to be David Guerin if that's wrong. Because it has to be one of the two initiates whose robes they stole. I'm not sure how they would have pulled this off, though. Well, we'll try it anyway. I'm pretty sure this would be David Guerin, then. It's the only other option. Yeah. Like, that's the only unknown variable. It had to be one of the guys in the initiate robes. I'm not sure how they did this, though. Well, I guess we'll figure it out as we're deducing things. So, Walter Keane, oops, up here, was challenged. Yeah. Well, I knew he was an initiate. That's why I knew it had to be one of the two in red. It was just a matter of which one. And I don't really see why it had to be this one. Like, how did he start doing the wine? Or why did he start doing the wine as opposed to the poison itself? Now, I'm thinking if he's pouring the wine, he could have indicated it by pouring less in one of the cups. I mean, there's a hat. There's a coat. A gun. Oh, give me 1 sec. Let me think about this for just a second. So he has a gun. The target will arrive in full costume. Grab rope and weapons. Hold on, 1 sec. Yeah, I have no idea at the moment. Let me continue with the book first and we'll figure that out. Was challenged to a dispute ritual. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Yeah, the dispute ritual. He with David Garan. Ambushed. Initiate Dark Hand. Well, I know this one had no poison. David Garan again. Oh, okay. Posing as the Dark Hand. Initiate. Signaled. Because that's the only one that's blue. Oh, I guess there's others. Signal to Walter Keane. With a... What did he signal with? He's got a ring on. The cups are empty, that's fine. Silver tankard with some red wine in it. Yeah, you're not stupid, Wailord. I appreciate that you want me to understand, especially because I did ask. Hat. This is the list of hats that he had, but he left them all out there. Loaded pistol, sword, clean new coat. Dagger, loaded pistol, coil of rope. Grab rope and weapons. It's not like the shoes have anything to do with it. because there's no indication that they're unique in any way from the footprints alone, including the footfalls. The only things that are here are these... There's the book, and then there's a key hanging from a chandelier. But there's nothing else to indicate it. Right? Like, I don't... These guys weren't part of it. They weren't influenced. These guys weren't part of this, so that standing behind thing was nothing. Let me see. Let me read these again. So only stewards or higher can be defender and accuser. That has nothing to do with it. I already used the information that it's the ritual of dispute. The scepter must be borne by the water snake master. Okay, it is. Required decorations in the hall. Keeper of treasures, which I'm assuming is the key. The never tiring teacher, which I'm assuming is the book. And then the Grim Reaper, which is hanging up here. Which is all fine and dandy. And I do see this as being kind of like attached everywhere. There's some on the key, there's some on the Grim Reaper, there's some coming out of the book. I thought it was the key supposed to be attached to the book. Because it's not as though the cups have anything marked on them. And he's not wearing anything aside from the ring, but I don't know that the ring would have been worn on a specific hand. The silver tankard is probably meaningless. Ceremonial sword, ruby ring. Were there 2 rings in here somewhere? No. Huh. And it's not like they picked anything up from out here either. They didn't cut anything off of this. There's no, like, scraps indicating what was there. The closest I can come to is whatever these strands of things are, because they're attached in multiple places. It's the only visual cue I have. Let's see. What would fill in here? So... signal to Walter Keane with a something. There's cup, sword, scepter, tankard, transition, admission, tray, inception, evaluation, poison, squabble, conflict, dispute, discord. So the sword and the scepter I have to discount immediately, because those are in the hands of the masters. The tankard... Was that a tankard in his hand? Yeah, a silver tankard with some red wine in it. Would he have indicated with the tankard then? I'm going to have to go with that. I'm going to have to say tankard. It's the only thing of all the options that will fit. I just don't get why. Like, he wouldn't have squabbled or disputed. There was no conflict or discord. And the tray is in the hands of the dude with the poison on it, which is nothing. Like, this isn't part of the group. Not the hats. 2 hours before midnight, yeah. Target will arrive in full costume. Grab rope and weapons. I'm not sure. At this point, I'm using the process of elimination to say this is probably tankard. Because ring isn't even something that I could use. The cup is something that couldn't be tampered with very easily. This is Jeffrey Sinclair. Drank the other cup and died. Meanwhile, Lazarus Hurst passed the initiation ritual, or the admission ritual, I guess. I think that was it. Inception ritual. Inception ritual to become a Proud Beast initiate. No! What? Oh, that should be right. Walter Keane was challenged to a dispute ritual. That's right. He was. He's even taking the ritual there, and it's written in the letter that he was challenged by Jeffrey Sinclair. Right here, right? Yeah. So I'm pretty sure this is fine so far. Walter Keane was challenged to a dispute ritual, and again we know that. We know that the ritual itself was the dispute ritual. We went over that a couple of times. He, with David Garand, ambushed Initiate Darkhand. Hi Grim, welcome back. Wait, did Grim go anywhere? Am I forgetting that? I'm thinking too much. I'm sorry if you didn't. He, with David Garand, ambushed Initiate Darkhand. Because this guy, Jeffrey Sinclair, had to have been the other guy, because he wouldn't have challenged otherwise and they couldn't risk dying. And he did drink the other cup, and he died. He, with David Garand, ambushed the Initiate Darkhand, who is outside. We know that. It's this guy. Oh, maybe Darkhand Initiate. There we go. Had those in the wrong order. Walter Keane was challenged to a dispute ritual. He, with David Garand, ambushed the Darkhand Initiate. Oh. There we go. I just had Initiate and Darkhand mixed up. After being challenged to a ritual with potentially deadly consequences, Walter conspired with David to devise a plan which would ensure his own safety. They captured a Brotherhood member on his way to the gathering. David took his costume so that during the ritual of dispute he could indicate to Walter which cup was poisoned. Therefore, Walter chose the safe cup, and his opponent drank the poison and died. Well, I thought I had it right, yeah, I just messed up the order. Who'd have thought it was that specific? It makes sense. Mildly annoying, but it does make sense. I still don't really understand. I still don't really understand why he was the dude with the tankard. Like, it's not anywhere here that this dude was the one that was supposed to bring the tankard with him. So, let me just explain what I'm having trouble understanding here, first of all. Because, like, obviously I did get it. I figured 98% of the stuff out. But what I don't understand is just this. There are 2 initiates in here. And I'm not sure why it had to be this guy with the tankard in his hand, that is David Goran, and not this one with the poison. Wait, yes I do. Because this guy is a water beast and this guy is a dark hand. Okay, never mind. They took the right costume for him. I understand now. I'm stupid. I'm good. No, the thing that I didn't understand was why it had to be him. And now I remember. Because this one is the one with the dark hand mask on. And it's the dark hand mask guy that's out here. If they took the full costume from him, he couldn't be the water beast initiate. It could only be this one. So I got it. I figured it out now. Well, thank you, Conop. I appreciate that you think I'm fabulous. That was way hard, though. Let us continue on, though. God damn, that one puzzle took me over an hour to figure out. Yeah, that one was tough. Chapter 3, The Ascent, the crowning celebration by the lighthouse. Let's see how many sections there are first. 1, 2, 3 of them. Okay. Well, thank you, Conop. I appreciate the support, as always. Let's look up at the top first. This one's the least amount of information. A trapdoor that connects the staircase to the top of the lighthouse. It's not locked. Okay. What's this? By guarding the lighthouse, you guard the Empire. By Alistair Koch. Okay. The door is locked from the inside. That probably will be important. Is there anything up here? No. So there's nothing like hanging off of the sides. There is a body here. Man is not breathing, had a severe wound at the back of his head. His arm is broken. He's got the ring, okay. Water Snake Master, yeah. Desist immediately and know that when pushed, my rage is absolute. Do not toy with the well-being of the Empire's general, for I do not tolerate being attacked. In my many voyages, I have learned the dark arts too, if need be. I will summon 1,000 invisible demons to crush your bones. Proud Beast Master. Okay, hold on. Do not toy with the well-being of the Empire's general. As if he's only one. As a doctor, I recommend you stop obsessing. It will only unbalance your humors. Okay. Why is that important? The mouthpiece is missing? Is that it? Both his legs appear to be broken. Okay. What else do we have here? Bunch of footprints. One of them came from that direction. Two of them came from that direction. So it looks like one man went, two men came back. And it's the same guy that went this way. Set of heavy wooden oars. Strange looking masks, okay. Griffin reborn and make ready. This is the guy that was in the last one, Lazarus something. Lazarus, whatever his name is. I gotta check, hold on. Not that one. This guy. Lazarus Hurst. Okay. What's this? This is the miracle hypothesis. The water works better, but the effect is not as convincing. Increase air. He's trying to levitate with it, okay. After reduce air, aim at the sky, or decrease air. Press the lever to maximum position and hold for at least 10 seconds. At this point, the idol should be full enough to perform the miracle once. Upon pulling the trigger, the idol will perform the intended action on the target. Okay, so we already know from the previous ones that we did, from the previous missions, that this is decrease and air, and this one is increase and air. So really they are trying to launch themselves into the air. That's what the point is. They're basically sucking air from the sky and then using the idol to expel it downwards to float. Griffin Rebirth. The one who claims to be Griffin Reborn must perform a miracle. If someone can repeat it, it was not a miracle but magic. The claimant is punished with death. If no one can repeat miracle, the masks fall. Claimant is crowned as the Griffin Reborn. Okay. In the history, the first Arcan demonstrated flying, jumped off a cliff to his death. Okay. Proudmaster Lord performed a seance, talking to spirits. Lord Angus McBain repeated the miracle. Okay. Creation of a homunculus was reproduced. And hypnosis of a servant. Okay. Oh, there's one more here. Griffin Rebirth. I mean, so far this is looking pretty obvious. What else we got here? And just so we're clear that I'm not just spewing that, so far what it's looking like is this guy having information about the idol from David Guerin and, by extension, Edwards Cloudsbert, knew how to use the statue to perform this miracle of flying. This guy is most likely Angus McBain, who went up with him together. They jumped off of the top of the tower here, and only this guy survived because he had the statue performing a miracle, as it were, to drop down here. So this guy's dead and was therefore left there while these guys are praising him as the reborn phoenix or griffin. That's what I'm going with so far. We gotta research more to figure it out, but that's what it looks like. Griffin reborn, yeah. What's this? A heavy seal, okay. Ruby ring. What's this? He's got spurs on his boots? Why does he have spurs on his boots? Well, I guess that leads into this, because you can see the spurs here. So the spurs are the only ones coming back. And then these ones are the regular shoes that probably went this way, which I'm assuming means these are him walking back to check the miracle. This is after he jumped down. They're walking back together, having confirmed it. Ring, yes. I'm not sure why it's 12:25, but okay. Water Snake Brother Maker. As the director of the Seven Seas Trading Company, I do not assess work applications. Please go through the official channel so my staff can evaluate your credentials. Okay. The lighthouse on Gull Islet, near the Horn of Codhead. Present Angus McBain, Alistair Cock, Walter Keane, James Turner, Lazarus Hurst, Nicholas Maker. Yeah, so this guy is Nicholas Maker. We'll just put that in right now. Nicholas Maker. That makes this Lazarus Hurst. Pack your staff, O Griffin Reborn. Dear Master McBain, threats to contact the Chief Inspector about my past offend me greatly. Being an honest soul, I have no choice but to comply with your base demands. I may have invited Lazarus into our brotherhood, but he has not shared all his secrets. I have an opportunity to see him practicing his miracle. He has a magical artifact hidden in his cane. Okay. Okay. Okay, yeah. Oh, that's what that part is. Okay. And what's this? A golden snuff box filled with opium powder. Okay, so he may have invited Lazarus into the Brotherhood, which means this came from Walter Keane. Because that's what we learned last time, is Walter Keane invited him in. I'm assuming this is McBain, who ended up dead here. He was the one challenging. And he's got the hats list. So this is actually Walter Keane. They're definitely working together. Whoa, look at his eyes. What is wrong with this guy? And his jowls. A silver crown with gems. Okay. People who had the magical relic in their hands chronologically. Also, we need to identify them. Yeah, it's definitely unnerving. I wouldn't say freaky, but unnerving for sure. Like, that's the whole style they're going for. I think this would be Walter Keane. And I'm pretty sure this is Angus McBain. Who else was here? Alistair Koch. Dr. James Turner. So two of these guys. One is a doctor. And the other one is a general, maybe? What's this? General Alistair Koch. So I would bet... Hold on. Director of the Seven Seas Trading Company. No, those didn't have anything to do with it. One has a seal, and the other one does not. He's just kind of weird looking. They don't have any indication of what they would be, though. Was there an indication of who was going to officiate it? Present Lord Angus McBain, which I think is him. So Alistair Koch and Dr. James Turner. I can't see why a doctor would need a seal, so I'm going to say he's the doctor and he's James Turner, I guess. Oh no, he's the Alistair Koch. James Turner. Alistair Koch. No! Ah, okay. There we go. I was close, but I was still wrong. Because I understand this is the Seven Seas Trading Company seal, right? Like it's 7 and the seal. Was that what was contained in the letter? Director of the Seven Seas Trading Company. Dark Hand Master, JT. Oh, JT. James Turner. Okay. That makes sense. I got it. What's this? Empty slots. So there is one... No. No. Which is the blackmail letter? Okay, that's why. I see what's going on now. So McBain threatened threatened Walter Keane. Yeah. What's his name again? Angus McBain. So, Angus McBain blackmailed Walter Keane. To find out how Lazarus, what's his name? Hurst. Lazarus Hurst would perform the miracle of flying. Yeah, okay. And then in order of people who had the relic, it was Lazarus Hurst, and then Angus McBain, who was looking at it, and then it was Walter Keane, who's got it now. This one was mercifully easy. Using the idol to demonstrate the miracle of flying, and became Griffin Reborn, which means this is Lazarus Hurst. What's gray? Jumped from the lighthouse. Using the idol to demonstrate the miracle of flying. What's his name? Oh, okay. So this is the part I didn't understand. This is the end piece of the cane that was intentionally broken off after Lazarus jumped, so that Angus took the same cane and tried to jump off using it, but it wouldn't work because it didn't have the full length of the tube there. There was no nozzle to let it off. So he died. I got you. That's clever. Angus McBain. Angus McBain is his name. Right. Angus McBain jumped from the lighthouse afterwards. This resulted in Angus McBain's death from a head wound, I guess. Yep, there we go. When Lazarus Hurst jumped from the lighthouse and survived using the hidden golden idol, Master Angus McBain thought he had enough information to repeat the miracle and prevent Lazarus from becoming Griffin Reborn. He seized the staff from Lazarus and locked the lighthouse door to prevent foul play. However, he did not know all the secrets of the idol, and it did not work for him, and Angus jumped to his death. Okay. Cool. Return to scenario. Let's see if we can do this one too before we call it a day. It has been an hour and a half, but honestly I'm enjoying this, so we're going to see about finishing up chapter 3. The interrupted weekend at the doctor's salon. 36 pieces. So 1, 2... Oh, there's only 2 of them. Okay. What do we got in here? Fair enough. 2 cups of spicy smelling tea, one almost empty and the other one untouched. A game of chess, okay. A newspaper. London Gazetteer. Who will be the new Prime Minister? The Loyalists are riding a griffin. Gee, I wonder who that could be. The new Order party have the most MPs, but it's clear the two old parties will form a coalition. This means that either Loyalist leader Blanchard or moderate leader Valentine will be the Prime Minister, leaving Lazarus Hurst and his party in opposition. Oh. Okay. Well, don't I feel dumb for saying that? Unfinished croquet match in a grass field. Chrysanthemum. Isn't chrysanthemum poisonous? Rose bushes. Did I get everything from out here? It looks like yes. Okay. Tea house, chess house, croquet field, flower beds, fountain, more flower beds, salon and library. What's this? The seals of the 12 Lemurian clans. Huh. Okay. And this looks like a kukri. No, that's not the kukri. The little hand daggers that Mrs. Q-Bear had from a while back. Yeah, no bedrooms, eh? Psychoactive plants, drugged symptoms, spotty onion, black poppy, Lemurian lichen. A boomerang with blood on it. Okay. Well, we know it wasn't done with the candlestick. Leopold. Your plan to frame P'tu is sublime, but your missing button is more than enough proof that you did it. Constable, please escort this man out. Ring with a ruby. A clean doctor's scalpel. A clean small sword. So this guy's name was Thomas... Thomas? Something? J.T. James Thomas? James Turner. Do I have his name yet? I do not. Okay. This is such a mess. How we're going to be cleaning blood out of the rug. Oh. He's got pink eyes. That was Black Poppy. Hyperconcentration on one thing, loss of perception of time, rapid blinking. Okay. What's on the table? Glass full of sherry. An almost empty glass of sherry. Okay. Fallen bottle of sherry. James, this is preposterous. You know damn well that he was killed by that Lemurian savage. Dear friend, now that the elections are over, please join me for a leisurely weekend at my manor. James Turner, yeah. Did we not get his name? We did not get his name yet. For some reason, we can't pull it off there. This is outrageous. I thought you were an honorable man, Leopold, not some Aquitanian agent trying to sabotage our relations. He stole his life just like that. The doctor's a smart man since he saw through his lies. At one of the balls, you said that you would love to meet someone actually interesting. I'm having a weekend of drinks at my manor, and a prince from the 11th clan of Lemuria will be joining us. Please do us the honor of your company too. 3, 6, 9, 12. 10, 11. The stink bugs? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, I guess. Stink bugs with the X'd out box, okay. I hope the host did not notice me when he was leaning over that sleeping eye patch gentleman. Brownstone slate seal, okay. Lemurian War Club. Spicy smelling ornamental box. As you know, I'm a great aficionado of Lemurian culture. It would be my pleasure to invite a member of the Patu clan to spend a leisurely weekend at my estate. I heard you got invited to party by the director of Seven Seas Company himself. I know you hate associating with these invaders and thieves, but this might be the opportunity we seek to reclaim our honor, okay? Who is this guy? Apologies for shouting match yesterday. Let's continue our discussion at noon. The elections are over, so let's uphold tradition and have a leisurely weekend at my place with you and Leopold to discuss the Prime Minister's situation. Oh, what's this? Something in his hand. Oh, that's the button that he was talking about. The missing button. Which is missing from his shirt here. That's why they're trying to frame him. Okay. Oh, there's something else here. This man is not breathing and has a huge vertical wound on his forehead. Okay. Arthur Faulkner. Clean Constable's Pike. There we go. Leopold, Gideon, oops. Hawk, Turner, Ergen, James, Alistair, Podrick, Billiam. Okay. So I'm just skipping all of that information for the moment because we're trying to identify these people first. So I know that he is Turner, James Turner. James Turner. We're actually going to drag this up. I need that. I don't need this. Because that's what's on all of these. Yep, James Turner. And I know that this guy is Arthur Faulkner. Arthur. We're going to put this together. Arthur Faulkner. Koch was the other guy. Koch. And this guy is Patu. What's his name again? Or his first name? It's just Prince. It's not Leopold. Gideon. Ergen. He has challenges with our language. Alistair. Okay. So then this guy must be Ergen. Ergen Patu. Ergen Patu. This is Billiam something. Put that up there. Billiam. Lord Augustus. Leave the fountain around noon. Well, I knew this guy. Oh, wait. Was sounded by Mr. Hill? Alarm was raised by Mr. Hill. On this bench was Hill. So Valentine or Blanchard are both there. This guy's name is Valentine then, and this guy is Blanchard. Valentine, Blanchard. Okay. What else do we have here? Also, why does this guy have a different clan number? One. I'm not sure what the significance of that is. Well, I know that his name is Leopold then. His first name is Leopold, last name Blanchard. Miriam. I don't know who this guy is yet. With the jowls. Yes, I do. He was in the last one. Return to scenario selection. This guy. His name is Alistair Cock. That's right. I almost didn't recognize him, but his big funny jowls gave him away. Alistair Cock. Alistair Cock. Here we go. Who's this guy? Dear friend. Well, that's helpful. His name is Friend. Leopold. That was that guy with the eye patch. Gideon. Ergen. James. What's Podrick? Serve Lord Alistair in the morning. Okay, so this must be Podrick then. Mr. Spade in the garden. Okay. So this guy's name is Billiam Spade. What a name. Billiam Spade. Ergen Patu. Arthur Faulkner. James Turner, Alistair Cock. Two. Arthur Faulkner, yeah. James Turner, Alistair Cock, Gideon Bell is not, or Gideon Valentine. Haven't figured out either of those yet. This guy, we just looked at him. What was his name again? Podrick. And these are all first names. So his first name is Podrick. Yes. Don't know, so I'm going to move that down. I know that this is a different one. Gideon. Where's Gideon? Leopold, James. No. No. Okay, let's see what else he has to say. Lord Augustus left the fountain around noon. And Mr. Hill. So somebody is around the fountain. Played croquet with Ergen in the morning. So Master Bell. Gideon Bell should be right then. And I think that would be this fellow. So we're going to go for Gideon Bell. And I know Valentine is here. Leopold goes with Blanchard. Podrick. Hill, maybe? And then Augustus Valentine. There we go. Cool. So that's the names filled in. Which means this guy is Augustus Valentine is the victim. The boomerang is the murderer. Well, the salon is where he was murdered. Body was found by Augustus Hill. Oh no, not Augustus. What was his name? Gideon Bell, I think. I'm pretty sure that's who found it. I gotta check again. Nope, maybe not. Gideon. Nope. Leopold. Okay, so it was Leopold that found it. Leopold Blanchard. Leopold Blanchard, good. Okay. Location of each suspect when the body was found. That's a little more difficult. So the gardener I guess the first thing I need to do is find out when the body was actually found. So, played croquet with Ergen in the morning. Drew attention to the interesting design of the chess house. Saw Lord Cock lecture the butler. Saw Master Turner come to the chess house and send the butler away. Let's look at the actual solution here. Yeah, so there is timing that we have to fill in. That's a pain in the butt. Okay, okay. Woke up, found the butler on the floor asleep. Which one makes you drowsy? Sleepiness, the black poppy. Not that I think that's all that important, but, you know, worth looking into anyway. Let's try and go for the easiest one first. So Ergen says everything Master Bell says is correct. And Bell is Gideon Bell. So we can probably place them together, most likely. Croquet with Ergen in the morning. Saw Lord Alistair leave the chess house and return shortly afterwards. And Alistair... sometime in the afternoon. Alistair is who? Alistair Cock, okay. So he said that Alistair Cock was playing with Dr. Turner. Okay. The doctor was in the chess house with Alistair the general. I think he's the general. That sounds right. We're going to say both of those are correct. Except, who raised the alarm? It was Gideon. Gideon raised the alarm, so he was in the salon. He's the loyalist. And the prince and the young man were together. Ergen... It's not Podrick. Because we need to find where the gardener was, the butler, the young man, and the prince. So the prince should be with Gideon. Yes, Gideon. Tea in the tea house. And then it doesn't seem like they left. So these two should both be in the tea house. The prince and the young man. The gardener and the butler are the ones that are left. So the gardener continued to work on the roses until the alarm was raised. And Podrick should have been working with him. Huh. Okay, okay. So this is interesting. Dr. Turner, James Turner, sent him into the house where Leopold was playing chess, or where he was having some sherry, and then the butler fainted. But his eyes are still pink, which is a symptom of the black poppies, which is also sleepiness, which means something in here had drugged them both, and they're just blaming it on the sherry. One glass is empty, one glass is full, but they both passed out, so it must have been burning poppy that did that. Either way, the gardener and the butler should both have been the flower beds. Oh no, I still have one wrong. Or two wrong, I guess. Damn, I'm so close with this one. And I'm not sure what the issue is. I think this is the only one that I could be wrong with, all things considered, because Gideon says that they got bored and went to drink tea. Ergen drew his attention to the design of the chess house. Could you see the chess house from there? Yes. Okay. Ergen drew his attention to the interesting design of the chess house. Saw Lord Alistair Cock lecture the butler. Saw Master Turner come to the chess house and send the butler away. So Alistair left the chess house and returned shortly after. And who is Alistair? He's the general. So that's interesting. In the afternoon, Dr. Turner arrived and sent the butler away. This is the inconsistency, right? So, educated the butler on his lack of military training. That is congruent here, where Cock was giving the lecture to the butler. Saw Master Turner come to the chess house and send the butler away. That's right. This is wrong. They played together and he was close to winning when the alarm was raised. What's he saying? Nothing of any particular import, okay? Lord Augustus left the fountain around noon. That's fine. What about Podrick? Dispose of the spoiled sherry. On entering the library, found Lord Leopold asleep. Yeah, okay. Suddenly fainted. Was woken by Lord Leopold and instructed to raise the alarm. Okay. So those are fine. Those are consistent. James. As the master of the house, he led the interrogation of the suspects. Okay. So these two are not trustworthy. Like, at all. Because they're working together, obviously. Ergen says Bell is correct. And this is the key piece of information. He left the chess house and returned shortly afterwards. Leopold Who's Leopold again? This guy, okay. Woke up, found the butler on the floor asleep, woke the butler, entered the saloon, and found the body. Oh. Well, that's incongruent. Because the loyalist says he woke up the butler who was on the ground with him. So that's the thing. The butler is either not telling the truth. Hold on. Well, that's fine. Was it James that said... Where did I get that piece of information from then? I don't remember. I do know that it said at some point he was sent to work with... work with the Roses. Oh, here we go. Instructed him to dispose of the sherry and then go assist Mr. Spade. So that means that he was indeed in the salon. Oh, were they drinking in the library? Is that why? Because they are here in the salon. They were drinking in the library. Okay. Maybe that's it then. Because the butler didn't come in until after. So, library? There we go. Okay. Nailed it. Okay. So, I gotta figure out a lot of words here. Drugged, framed, killed, provoked, stole, planted. That's all the words that can go in here. The yellows are items, and the reds are the names. What about the grays? The grays are locations. There's a lot of people here, but there's 2, 4, 6, 7 names. How many people are there? 3. There's 9 people. 7 names. Which means some of them are useless. They're not actually part of this. They're just red herrings. This would be a prince, I think. Oh no, a Lemurian boomerang from the library. Oh no, from the salon. Meanwhile, in the library... and a planted Lemurian boomerang from the salon. Maybe not. Let me get rid of these. I'm gonna have to look at this again. So early in the morning, something in the blank and blank. So I'm going to need to look at the actual time frame of these things. Early in the morning. So it wasn't the drinking. Played croquet with Ergen in the morning. So Gideon and Ergen were playing in the morning. In the afternoon was James, Leopold, and Augustus. These are official names, right? So planted a button. Planted a button. Drugged, framed, killed, provoked, stole, planted. So if they drank from the morning, then it would have been early in the morning. James Turner. Drugged Leopold. What was his name? Blanchard. I did do that right. Drugged Leopold Blanchard in the library and planted a button. Because that's where everything is, right? Like the actual stuff is over here in the library. I'm not sure why the body is here, but okay. Meanwhile, James Turner drugged Leopold Blanchard. Because that is correct, I think. If we're looking at the book, Leopold had a glass of sherry with James in the library. Which means these stories have to line up. Yeah, okay. He found Lord Alistair and the butler in the chess house. So that's probably what this one is. In the chess house. Alistair and Podrick. Alistair Cock. What's this? What about this? Stole a Lemurian boomerang from the salon. Because that's the only one that seems to fit. Melon Chest House. Alistair Cock. James Tyler drugged Leopold Blanchard in the library and planted a button. That sounds right. Or was it provoked? I'm not really sure. So meanwhile in the chest house, Alistair Cock and no, meanwhile in the library, Alistair killed Augustus Hill. That's what it is. Or Augustus Valentine. And stole a Lemurian boomerang from the salon. No, planted. This one's planted. Because there's the head wound here. And then the bloody boomerang here. So maybe the head wound did come from that. So he didn't plant the boomerang. I mean, it is the Lemurian boomerang from the salon. Those two are correct. Meanwhile, in the library... I don't think that's right, though. Because this is also in the early morning, right? Around noon. What happened around noon? Excuse me. Served Lord Alistair in the chess hopes in the morning. So Alistair was in the chess house in the morning. And that's corroborated by Gideon, who was playing croquet, but did see Alistair lecturing the butler in the morning. And Turner came by around noon. Alistair left the chess house and returned shortly after. So maybe this one is about the salon. In the salon at around noon, killed, planted the button on him to frame, what was his name? Ergen Patu. Nope. Planted the button on him to frame, what was his name? Leopold Blanchard. So in the salon at around noon, that would be when this happened. Alistair Cock killed Augustus Valentine and planted the button on him to frame Leopold Blanchard. This looks right. So not in the chess house. James Turner drugged Leopold Blanchard in the library, and maybe it's not drugged. No, that seems right. James Turner drugged Leopold Blanchard in the library and stole a button. There we go. That looks better. He took a button from his shirt. And we can be sure about that because he never drank the liquor. This is a full glass of sherry. Meanwhile, in the I think this one is Boomerang. Don't know about Stole being there. Planted a Lemurian Boomerang from the salon. That looks right. So meanwhile in the there was something about provoking the prince. Saw someone looking at him in the morning. Okay, so he had a glass of sherry. As he was falling asleep, he saw the Lemurian observing him through the glass door. Woke up, found the butler on the floor. Okay. It's the middle part that I'm really struggling with here. James ordered the butler to clean up the library. Ergen was only going along with what Gideon says. So what could be here? Planted a Lemurian boomerang from the salon. In the salon at around noon, Alistair Cock killed Augustus Valentine and planted the button on him to frame Leopold Blanchard. That sounds right. But I think there's some more clues in what they're saying. Not some Aquitanian agent trying to sabotage our relations with Lemuria and provoke a conflict. So this guy is the one trying to blame it on the Lemurian. He's the one that's being framed. In the salon at around noon, killed Augustus Valentine and planted the button on him, which would make sense. Wait, hold on. Where was Augustus during all of this? Let's continue our discussion at noon, Leo. Oh, so he got called into the salon at noon. This guy was looking for him. That's how he got here. Okay. So in the salon around noon, Alistair Cock killed the Valentine and placed the button on him to frame Leopold Blanchard. That's right, I'm pretty sure, because he did disappear from the house and went into... Or he disappeared from the chest shed, went in to kill this guy, and then came back after. Meanwhile, in the... What is this? Provoke? So it couldn't be provoke, or planted, or stole. It has to be an action, something that was active. It's either drugged or killed. So here we go. It must be drugged the butler, I think, because his eyes were pink. Podrick Hill. Podrick Hill. Actually, I need to condense these. There we go. Meanwhile, in the library, I think this is still James Turner, maybe? No. Ugh. Waylord, I'm seeing what you mean about this one being really frustrating. because I'm pretty sure the first line is correct. James Turner drugged Leopold in the library and stole a button, because we know that that was where he woke up. And then he went into the salon and found the body in there. And they were drinking together in the morning. That's how they knew that that the liquor was drugged and to throw it out. So this, I'm pretty sure, is right. He stole the button. And I'm pretty sure this is right too, because Alistair did disappear. He was the only one unaccounted for. In the salon is where the actual body is. So he killed him and planted the button to frame Leopold, which, because James and Alistair were together at the chess house, means he could have handed the button off to Alistair in order to plant without raising too much suspicion. Which means it's just here that the main issue is, because meanwhile in the library someone drugged Podrick. The question is, was it this guy? The tea house, the croquet field, the chess house, and the fountain. Who was at the fountain? Somebody was at the fountain. I think that's going to be a key to it. Somebody was at the fountain. Planted and pruned. Saw the young gentleman and the foreigner play croquet behind the manor. Yeah, okay. In the afternoon, moved to the rose bush. Yes, see, from the afternoon, saw Lord Augustus leave the fountain around noon. So this guy is Augustus Valentine, right? Yeah. So Augustus was kind of hanging around here, and then he left around noon. He was working the flower beds, so he would have seen him go into the salon. But the view from the chess house would have been blocked if this is where he was, on either side. So he could see Augustus go in. He could not see someone from here go in. Meanwhile, in the library, because that was a thing, right? Was Podrick also got into the library, and you can see his eyes are pink. He was drugged. That's the black poppy. Nobody's... Oh, this guy's drugged too. He's blinking really fast. But he's drugged on the Lemurian lichen. Which is why this tea was spicy. Okay. I mean, that's fair. Hyperconcentration on one thing. Loss of perception of time. Rapid blinking. So it makes total sense that if he's lost his perception of time from the Lemurian lichen, he's not paying attention to how long this guy was actually in here. And then if we're looking at Podrick's testimony again, entering the library to take away the glasses, found Lord Leopold asleep, overcome by dizziness and fainted due to his weak heart. So he was drugged. How are his eyes? He's not blinking at all. Is that a thing? It might be. So it wasn't James Turner that drugged him. Maybe it was Alistair Cock. Did he not drug him, but provoke? No. I'm still absolutely sure the top one is right. James Turner drugged the guy they were drinking together with the sherry, stole a button from his shirt. And then the last one, I'm pretty damn sure, the Lemurian boomerang is the only thing Lemurian here that could fit. Because there's no seal there, right? What do you have? Clean Doctor's scalpel. The button. Lemurian boomerang. Lemurian War Club. What's this? Okay. 12 Lemurian clans. So the boomerang was planted. This is the only thing that makes sense. What about here? What does Gideon say again? He got bored and went to drink tea. Ergen drew his attention to the design of the chess house. Ergen was also remarking on the beauty of the chess house. Was it Ergen that was fixating? But that doesn't seem to match up with the other symptoms. Like, this guy's blinking very rapidly. This guy's not moving at all, but the whites of his eyes aren't tinted. Hyper concentration on one thing, lots of time, rapid blinking. I don't know. I feel like I've got everything. The rose bushes are there. And that's where dude was working, right? He wasn't working on those chrysanthemum bushes at the time. He continued his work on the roses until the alarm was raised by Mr. Hill. Mr. Hill is Podrick. Loyalist was in the salon. The general was in the chess house. They were both in the tea house. The doctor was in the chess house. The gardener, the flower beds. We will clean the blood out of the rug. So why does he care so little? The boomerang is the murder weapon, so I guess that's wrong. He didn't plant the boomerang. That's what was used to kill him. Oh. Okay, so maybe Augustus did the killing, but the butler drugged him. Meanwhile, in the library... Where's the butler? Podrick. Podrick Hill? I think that's his name. Damn it, Podrick. Where is he? Podrick Hill. Drugged Augustus Valentine. He didn't plant it. He... stole? No. Huh. I don't have any more words. Like, I would like to say that somebody used a Lemurian boomerang. What if I have this wrong? What if it's not Alistair that killed him? What if Alistair just planted? In the salon at around noon. Oh, maybe that's the thing. So not in the saloon, but somebody drugged... Like, we can't see his eyes. So that's impossible to say if he was drugged. And even if he was, that doesn't help much. The man is not breathing. He has a huge vertical wound on his forehead. We know that was caused by the boomerang. And it was in the salon. Now, the butler was in the library, so he didn't do anything to this guy. So in the library, someone killed Augustus Valentine. Oh, wait, hold on. In the salon around noon. I think this is still right. So somebody killed Augustus Valentine. In the library, Augustus wasn't drugged because he was in the saloon, or in the salon. the gardener was the only one close by. I guess this is the real difficulty with the narration, right? Is James did the interviewing of the suspect, the interrogation of the suspects. And Billiam was the only one who was able to see things as well as when Augustus went inside. So is he a reliable narrator? I don't think he'd have the strength to overpower him or to kill him with the boomerang. It's a clean small sword. And none of these guys have rings on them indicating they're from that secret society. Huh. Well, you know what? We've been working on this for almost 3 hours. And to be honest, I'm a little lost. So I'm going to have to do what we do, or what we did with Outer Wilds, and call it here and just kind of think about it for overnight, probably. And then I'll get back to this tomorrow. Because I'd love to keep solving it, but I'm really at an impasse here. And the only thing I can do is to take a break. So, thank you very much for watching. I don't know if I'll be playing Final Fantasy this afternoon. If you are, feel free to join in. If not, no big deal. Or if I am. Yes, raid time. Thank you. Good call. We're going to return to scenario select. What do we have here? Raid time. Raid channel. Do I have anyone online I could send you to? Any friends? Oh, yeah. Grim's playing. I'll send you to Grim. Grim Curio. Grim. There you go. Okie doke. See you later, guys. Thank you for watching. Appreciate you being here, as always.
Okay, so we showered. Let's go upstairs.